Welcome back, guys. It's Tech Prep again, and we will show you another web-based tool that will allow you to create a mobile app without requiring you to have a knowledge on coding or programming. And this is by using Adalo. Just type adalo.com and you will be redirected to their homepage. And then as you can see, using Adalo, you can create a web-based application. Also, you can publish your application in Apple App Store and Google Play. Also, they are offering pre-made templates or a template that you can use as the base of your application. So here, going to the showcase and go to the hashtag made in Adalo, you will see the sample application or a live application that was created using Adalo. So here you can see this sample application, like a startup application that has been already created using this web-based tool. You can create like an appointment app, booking or appointment tools, ordering app, and then like a personal app. So there's a lot of possibility you can do here with Adalo. Instead of creating a website from scratch, they are offering templates. So just go to showcase and then templates. And here you can clone an existing pre-made application like an appointment applications. You can also create an ordering app, coaching app, a real estate app, even a Facebook clone, a minimal blog app. So there's a lot of possibility you can do with Adalo. So you can just click here and then clone it here. So for this, an e-commerce app, I can just go ahead, click the e-commerce app and just clone it. So I don't need to create it from scratch, and I just need to update the theme, the palette, or the color to suit the design I want. And then another interesting information that we need to know about Adalo is the pricing. So just click pricing. And as you can see here, these are the plans that they are offering. And good news, they are offering a free plan to help you get started. They have free, starter, professional, team, and business. So in free, you can have unlimited test apps. You can create unlimited screens, and it has a pre-built database and collection. So you can create your own database. So you don't need to, go to another web application tool or other third-party apps to connect your database. When you create an Adalo app, you can easily use their database, which is pre-built already in this Adalo platform. So increasing the monthly fees or monthly subscription allows you to have an extra features. Like for this one, if you go to the starter plan, you can have a custom domain. So in this tutorial, we will start with free, just to show you how powerful it is, even though you're starting with free subscription. So the first thing you need to do if you want to try Adalo is you need to register, which in my case I already registered. So what they only need is your email address, set your password, verify your email, and then you're good to go. So in your case, if this is your first time, then you need to click the sign up. But me, I already signed in, so I already registered, so I'm just going to click login, and then I will enter my credentials. So after successful login, you will be prompted with this pop-up asking you to what kind of app are you making. So you have two choices here: native mobile app, or you can create a desktop web app. In this tutorial, I will show you how to create a native mobile app. So let's click this one, then click next. So template are like the base design or flow that you can that can help you start your application, and you can just modify its design, the color, the palette, and just the entries. So in our case, let's say I want to create an ordering application. So let's click this ordering template, and then once it's selected, then let's click next. All right, so the last part in this pop-up is for you to enter the app name. So in my case, I will enter the fine dining app as a name, and then for the primary color, maybe I'll select maybe the gray and maybe yellow. All right, and then click create. And now we will be redirected to the editing or the UI canvas of the Adalo. As you can see here, these are like the template that we have selected. So this is like the exact flow of your application. So you can just either add more screens to it, or you can modify the text, add more entries into the database. And but using this template, this is a working application as it is. I want to walk you through first to this editing tool or editing screen of this Adalo. So this is the logo of Adalo. Here at the top part of this editing screen is the name of your application. So if you have like other projects inside Adalo, you can just click this drop down icon, and it will show you the list of your application. Also, there's a button here if you want to create a new app. So later, I will try to show you to create an application from scratch or from blank template. But for now, let's try to play around with this pre-made template of Adalo. And also here in the top part of this editing tool or editing screen is the preview button. Clicking this will allow you to test your application and see how your application will look like on a different devices. So let's try that. Let's click preview. Here, as you can see here, this is the emulator, and the device is iPhone 13 Pro. So if you want to select a different device or try to a different device, you can select here. You have a lot of choices like the iPhone 13 mini, iPhone SE, and then also for Android like Galaxy and Pixel. So just selecting, let's say we want to choose or try our application using an Android device. Let's select this Galaxy S20. So the emulator change to somehow looks like a Galaxy, a Samsung phone. And then, yep, this one. So now let's go back to iPhone because there are two buttons in this template. In this ordering application, there's this sign up and login. So let's try to sign up so we can proceed with different screens of our application. So let's try to enter something, a valid email, because if you type something here, like a random thing, random text, you won't be allowed. And then it says here, if you hover, it says please include an @ in the email address. So we didn't do any code. We just uses the template offered by Adalo, and everything was done for us. So that's how powerful this Adalo app. So it's a really true no-code application builder. So let's try to enter, a valid looking text. So let's try tech therapy at maybe dummy.com, and then let's set a password. I'm going to set my password as 1234556. Let's retype that again, 1234556, and then sign up. So what's happening now after pressing sign up is it will be saved to the database. Now, there's a pre-populated here because I already tried this one, but you can update this. So first thing first, this is like you can upload a profile picture, and then let's set a name for my username. Let's say tech preppy. Then phone number, we can leave it as it is, so you can enter any valid number here. Number, all right, and then there's a create user button here. You just click it. There you go. We successfully log in to our application. Data here like this, Vietnamese street food, yellow truck, these are all in the database. So let's go back to our editor. Let's close this emulator by clicking this X icon here in the upper right corner. There's a share button here, which clicking that will navigate you, or which will allow you to install it in your mobile device. This is your account setting. So clicking this one will allow you to set your details, your billing information, so those things. And you have this sign out button here. And then now let's go to the left part of the screen, which is these tools. So clicking this plus button or plus icon will allow us to add a component. So there's a most used, which is usually it contains the text, a paragraph, a button, a list, an up bar, image, and forms. But they are also can be found here, like the navigation. You can also add the tab bar, and up bar. And then there's a lot of things like lists, buttons, icons, and toggles. So those are the components and a lot more, because if you go to the bottom part, you can explore the marketplace. Let's click that. So in the marketplace, you can see here other component that was either created by Adalo or created by other developers that is using Adalo. So if you're keen on creating your own component, you can collaborate with Adalo. So they will include your component that you created in their marketplace, and you can monetize those. So here you can have these maps, calendars, image slider, YouTube, star rating. There's a lot of possibility, even an ad mob. So let's click this done. All right, so now we're done with this ad icon. Let's go to the branding. So let's click this one. So branding is where we can modify the design and look of our application. So the primary color I have now, because this is what I selected in the when I'm setting up this project, that's why it's now showing the light gray color. So I want to change that. Let's say to a darker one. Maybe I want a green one. So let's click this color slider, and then let's pick this green. All right. And then for the bottom, maybe I want, okay, I leave the secondary color as it is, so we can distinguish the bottom from the secondary color from the primary color. And then the background color, I think white is good enough. And the text color is a black. All right. And then we can also change the fonts. So you can click the heading. You can select a font for your headings, and then also for the body text. So I leave everything as it is because it's all look good for me. And then now in the next icon here is the screen. So clicking these screens will allow me to see the list of the screens that I already created. This is like the outlines of my screens. Clicking one of the screen, let's say menu details, it will show me the component that has been added to that screen. So as you can see here, when I hover to the component, the screen is being highlighted, indicating that that I'm now editing the menu details screen. And then these are the components. So hovering on those components is also being highlighted in my editing canvas. And then you can add more component by clicking this add component button here. And then also here, this is the actions. This is where you can add actions to the buttons or to the link that is in the screen. And then the available data. So this is where you set where's the data source of this screen. So in this case, it is linked to the current food truck database record or collections. Then you can also click here to edit styles. Okay, so that is for the screen. Let's go back here. This is the outline as I mentioned. And then now the interesting part is the database. So here in the database, it is more intuitive than working on a real structured database because this is more user-friendly. For example, I have a collection or database for users, for the menu, for the food trucks, the items that has been ordered, and then the orders, the actual order from the actual users. And then here in the button is a way for you to add a new collection or a database. And then here, as you can see here, you can also connect to an external database. Let's say you are creating a mobile app on your company, and instead of duplicating the database of your organization, you can just connect your mobile app to that database. That's cool, right? But I believe this is not, you might need some plans to actually do it, but that's fine. Adalo's pricing is really cheap and really affordable, so it should not be a problem. Okay, now we're done with the database. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how to add records in these collections or database. So let's now proceed first with the next tool, which is our menu, which is settings. So here in settings, this is where you can change your project or application name. So in our case, it says here fine dining app. Maybe let's change it to the name of my restaurant, which is hopefully I have. So Tech Preppy Restaurant. All right. And then this is the short description if you want to add description. And here you can choose your application icon. So this is the icon that will be shown in your app device once you install it. And then here you can make your own logo. So there's a lot of setting here. So let's click update app for our new name to take effect. So now, as you can see, after clicking this update app, the name of my project was changed from a fine dining app to Tech Preppy Restaurant. And then we have the display setting here, the app access, and then if you can set if you want to share this to the community, you can do that here. And then also here, you can duplicate this project or you can delete this project. All right, so this is the setting menu, and then let's go to this next icon or next tool, which is publish. So here in publish, this is how do you deploy it to Google Store and App Store or to your hosting sites. So if you're using free plan, as you can see here, it is disabled for you, so you can extract it. So that's the limitation of using the plan, but this is really helpful if you just want to play around, create your ideas, how your application will look like. So you might not need it at first, but once you're decided with your idea, you can now go to the cheapest subscription that they are offering, and then you're good to publish your application to Android app and to Android Google Play Store or Apple App Store. All right. Now let's move to the last two, which is the analytics and the version history. So basically, in Adalo, they have this tool that will allow you to monitor the usage of your application and also the how many users that is interacting with your application. And also here, the last one is the version history. Basically, in the free plan, uh, you don't have this, but you can avail their free trial. What it does is you can revert back to the previous version of your design, which is really helpful if you want to have a backup of your application. So yeah, basically that's it for the tools here in the screen. So now I'm going to show you how to modify the screen and also add records to the database. So let's click one of the screen here. Let's say here the sign up. So let's start first editing this text here, the sign up. I want to change this to register. So this is the name of the text, the actual text, and if you want to link some actions here, like if the user clicks sign up, it will do something like move to a different screen. You can do that here. But for the meantime, I just want to rename it. Instead of sign up, I will change it to register. Register. So as you can see, that the text component name was changed to register, and also the actual text is now displaying register. And as you can see, it also reflects in our screen. So that's how you edit a text. And then also in the button, let's try to edit the button to display register. Let's click this button. Here it is a form, so that's why it's basically the two fields and the button are bundled together. So now I just want to edit the sign up form. Let's click the submit button. And here we can change the text to register. All right. So it's automatically reflecting in the screen. And then here, as you can see, there's two action here. The sign up, which will allow us to save it to the collections user. And also, it will allow you to navigate to a different screen. Okay. Now let's go to the login. So let's say we want to redirect the user after he successfully logged in, which we can do that. So now we want to edit this login, and then in the submit button, as you can see here, these are the action that is linked to the login button. So here, as you can see, the link icon, which says it will navigate you to the screen of food trucks, which is shown here. You can change the navigation by just clicking the screen and select the screen you want, and then the transition is push. So basically, this is how your navigation will look like. So it can be like a pop-up, or it can be a push that will technically replace your current screen, or it can be a modal, which is your screen, your new screen will appear on top of your previous screen. So you can do those things here by modifying the click action. So let's leave everything as it is, because I want to show you the database. So let's click the database. So clicking the user will show you the fields that is inside this user. So let's do that. Let's click users. Then here you can see that there's a field for email, password, username, the full name, the phone number, the profile picture, and the linking of the orders made by these users. And then if you want to add a new property, like age, that's fine. Just click the number, let's say, and then let's give it as a name of user age. And then click save. All right. That's how you add a new field in the database. And then if you want to check the entries or records of this collection or database, just click this two records. Basically, it depends on how many records you have in your database. But in our case, it seems that there are two records here. Just click that. All right, this is the Natalia at example.com. I think this is the example data already in this template. And in our case, if you still remember, we create a dummy login, which is techpreppy at dummy.com. And these are the details that we entered: the full name, the phone number, the profile picture that we selected, and the orders if we have some orders, and then also the timestamp. So let's say instead of adding user to the app, we can actually directly add a new user here. Just click this add user. So in the email, let's add a dummy email. Let's name it add another email at dummy.com. The password, basically this is the password that you will use for login. Let's say 12345. Username is another email. Full name, another email, and then in the phone number, we can type anything here. For the profile picture, maybe we can leave it as it is. And then age. As you remember, we add a new field, which is age. We can click 18, then hit save. All right. It is added in our record. As you can see here, this is another email, and we can use this actually if we want to test our app. We can use this user in the preview screen of this application. So let's click done. So let's try that. Let's click preview, and then this is the emulator. Maybe we need to log out first. Let's try to log out. All right. So let's click login. So in the email, let's type another email at dummy.com, and then the password is 12345, just what we type in the database, and then click register. No, instead of register, it should be a login. So let's do that again. So in the email, let's type another email at dummy.com. The password is 12345. So let's type that and then click login. All right, we were able to successfully log in. And as you remember, we changed the primary color from light gray to green. That's why it's now showing green. And then we can now order in our mobile app. So clicking this view menu will show me the records of menu related to this food truck. So now I want to add a new menu here. So to do that, let's exit this preview screen by clicking this X button on the upper right corner of this preview screen. And then go to the database. So let's minimize these users and let's go to the menu items. So these are the fields related to this menu collection. And I want to add a new record. So let's click this records. And there's 10 records here. So let's add a menu item. So in the name, maybe let's name it like fried spring roll. And then it is linked to Vietnamese street food restaurant. And then for this description, let's type in the description here like fried spring roll is stuffed with ground pork, carrots, and greens. All right. And then the price, maybe let's add $1. And then there's a field here. As you can see, it is a boolean because you only have a true or false as a value. So is it a food? Yes. Is it a drink? No. So let's select false. All right, then click save. As you can see here, it's added now in our screen, in our collection. So this is the entries we added. Aside from this, you can also set permission to this collection. So if you have an information that is too sensitive or confidential, then you can set permission. So it will ask you some security or password before you can view this record. Also, you can, instead of typing everything, just like what we did, you can import a CSV file, and as long as that CSV file match these fields, then it will automatically be uploaded to your collection. Also, you can download this record in a CSV file by clicking this download CSV. And then this is the API documentation. If you want to check that, feel free to do so. And then search, this is allow you to filter this menu item or this collection. Like typing fried spring roll will show me the fried spring roll that we have selected. So it's like a database. I would say a simple but powerful database, which is great, which we don't need to set up from scratch. All right, so we're good now. So let's try the new menu item that we have added. So let's select done, and then let's go to preview. Let's click this preview button. All right, so now since we didn't log out from the last time we test this application, so that's fine. Let's start with this screen. So the new menu, the fried spring roll that we added, it's under this Vietnamese street food. So let's click view menu, and here you go. This is the fried spring roll that we have added. So cool. All right. So now I will show you just how starting from blank will look like. So let's say you want to create a new project, but this time you want to build it from scratch. So let's click this, the project name, and then this icon, click that, and let's click the create new app. And then it will show you this familiar pop-up, which will ask you to select what kind of app are you making, which is it a native mobile app or a desktop web app? So let's select native mobile app. And then instead of using template, we want to start from scratch. So blank, the next, and then the branding. Maybe I'll change the branding to make it a little bit different from the app we already made. Maybe let's select brown, and then the secondary color, maybe let's say it's blue. All right. Maybe let's select a little bit darker. All right. And then the name is a random application. I have no idea what I will create. So let's type random name. So this is how your dashboard will look like, or your canvas will look like if you create from scratch. By default, it will always has this sign up and login screen, but don't worry, you can always delete it if you don't want your application to have a registration or login screen. So let's say I want to delete it, just select it and then click this three dots here in the component properties and then click delete. We need to delete this login screen also. So now we have this one screen here, which is home. So now let's say we want to create an autobiography. So in an autobiography, we need a headline for our name. So let's click this add button to add component. So text, let's click that text and drag this to our screen. All right. And then let's name it, let's change the display. So let's says tech preppy autobiography. And then we want to make it bigger. So let's click the formatting. So here, this is the familiar font settings that you can change, like the font, the text weight, and then the size. So maybe let's make it bigger, like maybe 30, maybe 25. Perfect. All right, and then let's center it. Align center. Cool. So click actions, no actions, since this is a text. So now what we want to do is add an image. So maybe this is my picture. So let's do that. So go back here to that add icon, to this plus icon to add an image. So you can either search to the groupings here or you can just search for the component. So I'm just typing image. So here, this is the image. So there's a different type of image, like it can be a list of image, a simple image, or an image picker. So in my case, I want it to be a default image. So let's click that and drag this to our screen. So as you can see, it's a little bit bigger to our screen. Let's resize this one. Good thing also in, adding component to your screen is like there's a guide, a line guide that will show you the alignment of your components. So this is our image component. So I want to put a picture here. So let's go to the component properties of this image and select image source. Maybe let's upload one. So your image can be saved to the Adalo database, or you can also upload from your local device. Then let's click uploaded image, choose image. Let's select this one. All right. Now this is my image. So it's not showing the whole image. So to do that, let's go to the image cropping field, the property, and let's select show full image, don't crop. There you go. Perfect. All right. And then next thing is we want to add now my autobiography, which is another text. So let's go to add component and then add text. So let's click this text and drag this to our screen. I don't know what to say, so I'm just going to type the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. There you go. This is my autobiography. So, one thing that is cool with this Adalo, so unlike with the other web tool, the no-code tool that I tried, Adalo has a seamless integration adding AdMob. So again, AdMob is a component that you can add, or a code that you can add to your mobile app to monetize it. So adding the AdMob component to your mobile app will allow you to display Google Ads, and then by doing that, you will be compensated based on the interaction to that ads, which is really helpful if you want to monetize your application. So here I would like to show you that because that's really important. So let's click this add icon again, or plus icon, and then instead of searching to this pre-built component, let's explore the marketplace. And then now I am in the marketplace pop-up. Let's search for AdMap. And now we have this AdMap banner. So let's click install because this is not yet installed. I'm installing it now. Don't worry, it's free. So that's how cool it is. Though there are some component that you will see in the marketplace that that need to be purchased first before you can use it. But a component that you usually use in your application is usually already here in Adalo. So here, as you can see, it's already installed. So let's just click this done button here. And then now, as you can see, there's now this section here installed, which with the number one because we installed one component, and that is AdMap. And then let's click this AdMap and hold it, and then drag this to our screen. There you go. This is how your ad will look like. Nice. So very cool. So clicking this AdMap component will allow you to set the property like your app ID. So if you're familiar with setting up to AdMap, then these are usually the IDs that you need to set. So you can link your AdMap account from Google to this application. Let's test this application, and it will show me the homepage of our mobile app. There you go. So the ad, ad here is not showing because we didn't set any properties for that, like the AdMap ID, so that's fine. We will be able to test that in the actual device, but that's fine. But this is how your application will look like. Cool. Easy. So that's it. This is how you use Adalo, which is a web-based tool that will allow you to create mobile application without coding. So thank you for watching. So if there's a question, feel free to drop a comment below, and see you on my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.